sent ya. Hall of Fame, Hall of Fame, Hall of Fame. Emmett Smith is our main. Game time, prime time, all the time. Your team ain't never on TV like mine. That's because we different. We America's team and we run this. Like Zeke runs circles right at defense. Jerry Jones, that's nonsense. Let the coaches coach. And I'll have a smoke. And I know y'all wanna toast to that.
Dallas Cowboys to the death from that. Dallas Cowboys to the death from that. I'ma keep ripping loud until there's no more left in ya. Dallas Cowboys to the death from that. Dallas Cowboys to the death from that. I'ma keep ripping loud until there's nothing left in me. Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys to the death for me. DC, that B4L. DC, that B4L. DC, that B4L. Reppin' that star, I do it so well. DC, that B4L. DC, that B4L. DC, that B4L. Reppin' that star, I do it so well. D-C-O-L. Dallas Cowboys to the death from that. Dallas Cowboys to the death from that. I'ma keep ripping loud until there's no more left in ya. Dallas Cowboys to the death from that. Dallas Cowboys to the death from that. I'ma keep ripping loud until there's nothing left in me. Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys to the death for me. DC, that B4L, reppin' that star, I do it so well. It's Puma on the toes, but the stars on the clothes. I'm Starboy, fresh at the DF Dub. Yeah, I'm a hard hitter. Don't stare to fit, it'll ego hit you. What is you saying, man? Look at the swag. Please do forgive the brag. I'ma pull up later in the Cowboy Jag. Don't you slip on the drip, I'm flossing the sauce. Go so hard for the star. Yeah, that be win, lose, or draw. If you take a L, get the F off my block. Cowboys win. Watch yours, pull up the shots. Really can't help it, got a star status. Even got it tatted on my arm. Yes, we be 5 green strong. Left a little room cause it's quest for the SIDS. Starboy really reppin' this shit. Dallas Cowboys to the death from that. Dallas Cowboys to the death from that. I'ma keep ripping loud until there's no more left in ya. Dallas Cowboys to the death from that. Dallas Cowboys to the death from that. I'ma keep ripping loud until there's nothing left in me. Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys to the death for me.
Yeah, tell me who the #1 fan. Yeah, Mr. Westside, I'm the man. Dallas Cowboys from my head to the toes. They better recognize who the fuck I am. Damn, haters run their mouth like a bitch when they team ain't shit and my team stay lit. Yeah, I'm about to rep this shit till the day I die in an all blue casket. If you wanna get with a club with love, tell Star Status Westside sent ya. Hall of Fame, Hall of Fame, Hall of Fame. Emmett Smith is our main. Game time, prime time, all the time. Your team ain't never on TV like mine. That's because we different. We America's team and we run this. Like Zeke runs circles right at defense. Jerry Jones, that's nonsense. Let the coaches coach. And I'll have a smoke. And I know y'all wanna toast to that.
Dallas Cowboys to the death from that. Dallas Cowboys to the death from that. I'ma keep ripping loud until there's no more left in ya. Dallas Cowboys to the death from that. Dallas Cowboys to the death from that. I'ma keep ripping loud until there's nothing left in me. Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys to the death for me. DC, that B4L. DC, that B4L. DC, that B4L. Reppin' that star, I do it so well. DC, that B4L. DC, that B4L. DC, that B4L. Reppin' that star, I do it so well. D-C-O-L. Dallas Cowboys to the death from that. Dallas Cowboys to the death from that. I'ma keep ripping loud until there's no more left in ya. Dallas Cowboys to the death from that. Dallas Cowboys to the death from that. I'ma keep ripping loud until there's nothing left in me. Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys to the death for me. DC, that B4L, reppin' that star, I do it so well. It's Puma on the toes, but the stars on the clothes. I'm Starboy, fresh at the DF Dub. Yeah, I'm a hard hitter. Don't stare to fit me, the ego hit you. What is you saying, man? Look at the swag. Please do forgive the brag. I'ma pull up later in the Cowboy Jag. Don't you slip on the drip, I'm flossing the sauce. Go so hard for the star. Yeah, that be win, lose, or draw. If you take a L, get the F off my block. Cowboys win. Watch yours, pour up the shots. Really can't help it, got a star status. Even got it tatted on my arm. Yes, we be 5 green strong. Left a little room cause it's quest for the six. Starboy really reppin' this shit. Dallas Cowboys to the death for me. Dallas Cowboys to the death for me. I'ma keep reppin' loud until there's no more left in me. Dallas Cowboys to the death for me. Dallas Cowboys to the death for me. I'ma keep reppin' loud until there's nothing left in me. Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys to the death for me.
Yeah, tell me who the #1 fan. Yeah, Mr. Westside, I'm the man. Dallas Cowboys from my head to the toes. They better recognize who the fuck I am. Damn, haters run their mouth like a bitch when they team ain't shit and my team stay lit. Yeah, I'm about to rep this shit till the day I die in an all.
Thank you for watching West Coast. This is Antoine Woods.
Thanks for watching West Coast. Go Cowboys.
This is Ray Williams. Thank you so much for hanging out with us at Dallas Cowboy Scout.
Appreciate
My
it.
man West Coast from this buck.
Thank you for watching West Coast.
Shout out West Coast Cowboys. You know, it's always love over here. Raider, Cowboy, always a Cowboy.
Did one hell of a job, and the only thing else I got to say is, how about them Cowboys? Yeah!
What's up with you guys? It is your boy West Coast, and we are live in the building, man. How are you guys doing on this great Wednesday? I know we're supposed to go live a little later, but you know these kids' practices be sometimes. So we are here. We are live in the building, and we are about to talk this Cowboy Talk, sponsored by our boys and our friends over there at CEV. So shout out to them real quick. But man, if I'm on the line and I'm live. Y'all already know I got my cowboy cousin, Boss Cowboy on the line. What's up with you, man?
What's up, man? Shout out to CV again, man. Chief plug, obviously. Rocking the CV. So, obviously, you want to go in and put in with CV. West Coast, let everybody know where you find out about it and who modeling the hardware.
Hey, I heard that. So, hey, man, on Wednesday, you guys already know what we do. Wednesday is draft day, where the show is gonna be more centric towards what we're gonna be doing come April 23rd, if I'm not mistaken. 23rd, I think it's 24th. We're gonna be out there in Las Vegas. I will be out there. My boy Boss Cowboy should be in the building, so it's gonna be a full family affair, and it's just gonna be a thing. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be a thing, and we're gonna be there to witness it. But more importantly, until we get there, every Wednesday at some point of the day, we gonna give you our draft thoughts, our most updated draft thoughts. So let's get right into it, man. Our buddy Big James, who was out at the scouting combine, said he was gonna be trying to stop by the show today. I sent him the exclusive entry code. So I'll let you know if he's able to jump on the show later on. But if he ain't, it's all good. But we might have a special guest in form of Big Game James sliding through in a little bit. So I'll let you guys know what goes on. But let's go ahead and talk about this, man. And I think the first subject that I think the number one question that people get asked, I think, and I want to, before we can even get into this draft, I think we need to talk about our approach, or how you should even be looking at the draft. How you should what should be your clear eye view on this draft. And when I think the question that I absolutely hate that people always ask me is, West Coast, who you want to pick at number 17? And before we go on, man, let me slide in this comment box. What's up with you, Christopher? Let me get a share. Steven, what's up with you? Greg, what's up with you, man? Natrine, what's up with you, man? Let me get a share. Juan, what's up with you? Let me get a share. Calexico, what's up with you, my brother out there? And Cali, Deshaun, I see you. Buddha, what up with you, man? Isaac, I see you. Thomas Reed, I see you. And Merrick Harris, I see you too, man. Merrick, you always on here. Let me know. I'm assuming you say your name the same, like almost like Derek, but with an M. So Merrick Harris, that's very unique. Obviously, you be a Cowboy fan. What's up with you, man? I see everybody on there on YouTube. I know the YouTube is, let me see the YouTube. I know the YouTube is popping. Boss Cowboy, I know you see him on your page too.
So Merrick Harris, that's very unique. Obviously.
Go ahead, boss.
Yeah, on my page, I see Joe Chinchina, man, coming from Italy. Charles Walker say, "What's good, West Coast and Boss Cowboy? What's up, Charles?" RJ Stewart Vaughn say, "Hello, West Coast." And how are you, RJ? Price says, "Hello, Boss Cowboy. What's up, Ronnie, man? I'm glad you're here." And RJ say he all the way from Colorado. What's up, man? Welcome to the show. Obviously, we got a lot of good draft talk to talk about.
What's
And then
man?
I see,
Hey, I was in Colorado. I remember when we was flying to the Atlanta game, and I had to do a pit stop in Colorado, and I got not necessarily stuck, but it was just cheaper to fly through there. So we flew. Hey, I was in Colorado, and it was cool, man. Only thing I did, it was crazy. Boss Cowboy, their airport is almost the airport that's there. It looks like a teepee, looks like a big old teepee, like a bunch of little teepees. It's crazy, but I mean, cool little area though. I liked it there. Not, I would not want to stay there just because, man, even on the warmest day, it was still a little too cold for West Coast. Hey, Cowboys need to draft a QB. I see you over Miss Eastside. I appreciate the super chat. Let's before we slide in here though, man, because hey, some people got on me about my YouTubers, my YouTube family. They got on me, and I'm gonna be honest with you. There we go. I just popped my hand on air so everybody saw I did it. You know what I'm saying? I apologize for the disrespect we've been showing y'all. We for sure will be on y'all comments more often. And when we don't, I need somebody to continue to blow up my inbox and do what you did. Eastside Harold, I appreciate you, man. If you got Eastside Harold, I'm gonna get to you as soon as we finish this point. I'm gonna slide over to you because what you said is actually gonna be really good for tonight. So that's a good question. You already on point. Bobby M, woo, what up with you? And Mike Reed, he said he in the building. Shout me out. I got you, Mike Reed. I just read your comment and shouted you out. What's up with you, man? All right, so Boss Cowboy, man. I want to know. First off, before we even get into exactly who let's talk about the approach. What should be the Dallas Cowboys approach going into this draft, and what should be their outlook? Because considering what we saw last year, I mean, I said in my first video in 2020 that the number one thing I want the Dallas Cowboys to do is to learn from their mistakes. And I'm not saying that the 2019 draft was a mistake, but I will say this, man. There was not, outside of Tony P, who only I think had less than 100 carries, there wasn't a lot of useful players that we used in that draft, man. And I think the Dallas Cowboys definitely need to learn from last year's draft, because you don't want to ever be in a situation when you're wasting picks or you're waiting on picks. You know what I'm saying? So you came out with the draft guide. You came out with the draft guide. I got the draft guide. If you didn't get the draft guide, I mean, my thing is this: it's like this. What they say: if you don't vote, shut up. That's basically what it is. If you ain't got the draft guide, shut up. You know what I'm saying? Because you ain't really trying to be about this, what the Cowboys trying to do in this free agency. You just talking. Or you trust the mainstream media. And either way, that's all poison. We don't want that in the air. Get the draft guide so that you can understand. It's not even the draft guide. I apologize. What it really is, it is the 2020 off-season drive, because it also encompasses free agency. So, Boss Cowboy, via the off-season guide, what should be the Cowboys' approach for just going into this draft and encompassing free agency?
yeah, and your question sound like it was twofold.
It is
Sound
twofold.
like you were saying with one question, what should be our approach, and then the second question I heard in there was, what could we do better that we should have learned from last year? I actually want to start with that one first. I think what we should learn from last year is there's no such thing as best player according to need, because they like to sneak that in there and say, well, Dallas Cowboys, we do it a slightly different. We pick the best player according to the need. Well, once you pick a best player according to your need, it's no longer pure best player. So this time, when you come across the best player and he's the obvious best player, pick the best player. So, for instance, Tristan Hill is going to end up being a good player, but Tristan Hill was not the best player sitting at 58. Connor McGovern was not the best player sitting at pick 90. They was the best that fit our need, but they was not the best player. Like we were saying on this show for a long time, please don't be the team that pass up on DK Metcalf. We were saying the entire time that the heavy defensive drought was going to push down a lot of weapons to the second round. It's exactly what happened. We also said it was going to be some epic safety sitting there at 58. That's exactly what happened. So to answer the first question is throw out any kind of so-called middle ground that we try to have compromise on when we get cute and say, well, we actually picked the best player according to need. Now, what we should be focusing on, which is the second part of your question, in my opinion, whatever's left over after we can't fill the 30 expired contracts. Because a lot of people don't notice, West Coast, that we sitting on right now 30 expired contracts with the Dallas Cowboys. With that big of a gap in need, obviously there's not going to be, we don't really even know what the top need is going to be going into this draft until we fill those holes in free agency. And the tendency from Dallas is to try to plug as many holes as possible so that they can try to go into the draft under a pure what's called BPA. So I think we just need to fill as many needs as possible according to what's I call stacked in free agency. What's obviously stacked is DT and then safety, and then after that, then just draft the best that you can.
Man, I mean that's and I appreciate, man. That was almost like what it's a poem. It's a soliloquy. I know I'm saying it wrong. Y'all know I get it wrong, but that was beautiful. I love the way you put that because it's right in lines of the exact same thing I'm thinking about. Like, you know, it's a domino effect, and sometimes like you want to see the end result, but it's like each little domino as it falls, it's gonna affect the next domino, and when you pull back, it should create this great picture. You know what I'm saying? We should never and think about this, boss. The numbers don't even add up. How can you have 26 to 30 contracts expiring and only have 7 draft picks? If you only have 7 draft picks, that lets me know that it is impossible to fix this team in the draft. Just and it's not even physically numerically even possible because you don't have enough draft picks to do that. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I tell for me, when someone asks me who you got at 17, my question is, what are we doing in free agency? You know what I'm saying? Now, obviously, yesterday was the free agency show. We're gonna dwell a little bit on hypothetically, what could we do in the draft? But I'm gonna be honest with you, like realistically, you're the only correct answer to who you want at 17 is really what are we doing in free agency? What did we do in free agency? So it's crazy to think like that because it goes against the norm. Because I know there's a lot of people right now. There's mock drafts and everything have us taking this guy, have us taking that guy. But my thing is this: if the Dallas Cowboys go out there and they pursue the number one available free agent safety in the draft, you think they're gonna then go backdoor that and go draft the safety at pick 17? I don't believe they would do that. Right. If the Dallas Cowboys go and bring in 2 big wide receivers or 2 weaponized wide receivers to help Dak Prescott in this offense, I don't think they're going to get a wide receiver in the first round because everything changes when it comes to it. And to be honest with you, that's how it's really supposed to be. And in all said and done, if you go into a draft and you have a glaring need, like this is a glaring need, then you did not do something right in free agency. Like, let's just be real. When the year we drafted Leighton Vander Esch, like, linebacker was a glaring need. Why? Because Sean Lee kept going down, and we did nothing in free agency to patch him over. Nothing. You know what I'm saying? We didn't do anything. So you left that glaring need there, and praise God that LVE was able to play. And this crazy thing about it, with like we always say, LVE was supposed to be insurance for Sean Lee, and Sean Lee ended up being insurance for LVE. So you don't want what you don't want to happen is don't take care of free agency right, and then you put yourself in a position where you're going into draft and you absolutely have to draft this position or you absolutely have to draft that position. Now, I'm gonna tell you guys this right now: if free agency did not exist right now, in my opinion, the biggest need on this team, or you ask yourself, what was the 2 biggest things the biggest thing they couldn't do on offense? Couldn't score points. All right. What was the biggest thing they couldn't do on defense? What? Couldn't stop people from running the ball on you. You know what I'm saying? So if free agency did not exist, I would tell you right now, pick 17, I'm picking a D tackle. Why? Because, you stop people from running the ball on you. If I can score at some point, guess what? I'm going to win games. But if we go get Jordan Phillips, I'm not going to want no D tackle at 17. You feel me, Boss Cowboy?
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and it's and that's why we really approached, I think, the whole off season with a lot of integrity, because around this time, a lot of people selling hope. but we want to sell realism, right? And it's a lot of people that's saying like our two biggest needs is more so what's our most popular needs. Like people are saying our biggest needs is D tackle and safety. Well, there's no way you can look at the 30 breakdown of the expired contracts and then say safety is our biggest need. It's not even close.
That's
It would be
tackle.
DT first because we have 6 expired contracts after 30, and that's not including Crawford. But behind that, most people miss what you just said, West Coast, is we have 5 expired contracts in linebacker. 5. So that's huge. And then the ones that's our best are what's called long in the tooth, or in football terms, that means aging, right? Yeah. So you said a big point that we say offline all the time. When LBE was drafted to be insurance for Sean Lee, and Sean Lee turns around and be insurance for LBE's neck, that means you still need insurance. Yeah. And like a lot of people just glossing over that, like Sean Lee, as our starting linebacker, was a crisis waiting to happen with one injury. That's why linebacker at that time and receiver was our best need or our biggest need, because remember, it was Dez that was cut, and we knew that we needed somebody to help with the run support from the absence of Sean Lee. Well, we actually sitting in that same position, but worse. So you're not seeing a lot of people that's talking honest off-season analysis right now. It's more so kind of cotton candy type of wishful thinking, but it's not truly like, what do we need? So we saying need, it's not enough conversation about linebacker, and it's truly not. Like, it's truly not. And the value that's going to likely be sitting there in the least amount of quantity, and that's going to get away from you fast this draft, is linebacker. Linebackers not like receiver, where it's mountains of them. You really only got about 5 really good quality linebackers between round 1 and 3, and that's done. Really more so round 1 and 2. And it's over. Stop looking. They're not going to save you after that. You know what I mean? So it's like, so just to answer your question, man, just going back to your original question, like we really should be spending a lot of time looking at linebackers. And like you said, if we was like basketball and needed to draft now, you have to say DT first and then linebacker second, like right now.
Yeah, and that's if you're telling me that Thanksgiving no longer exists and you go straight from Halloween to Christmas. You know what I'm saying? That's the only, you know what I'm saying? Because and I'm gonna tell you, people say, oh, that means the draft isn't important. No, the draft is important. That just means that free agency is really that important. You know what I'm saying? And guess what? The cool thing about it is it may not be like that every year. Like, because at some point you're going to get to the point where all your major players are signed, so you may not dibble and dabble in free agency as much. Then your draft picks will be a little bit more important. Why? Because now you're building for the future. But when you're building for now, you want grown men. You want grown men. Remember that. Hey, I got a question from Eastside Herald. I remember I let him. I appreciate the super chat. She says Cowboys. He says Cowgirls need to draft Tua. So this is. I don't know if you're a Cowboy fan, or it looks like he is not a Cowboy fan.
He's a Cowboy fan.
He is.
He's a Cowboy fan. Yeah.
All right. Well, he says. Well, why would you say Cowgirl? Maybe
our biggest haters are really our biggest fans. So welcome.
Well, if he a hater, I appreciate him, because that hater paid $2 to get his question read on air. So I salute you, brother. Hey, what did Cardi B say? Cardi B say, she said, I love the people who hate me, and I love the people that love me, because they all help pay the bills. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate you out here.
Appreciate you. I really do appreciate that too, man.
But he says, but that's a good point though. Yeah. He says Cowboys need to draft a quarterback, Tua. What are your thoughts? He says no. Eastside is a Houston Texans fan. I knew you was. I could see the Deshaun Watson right there in the guy. I can see him on. We can talk about your quarterback too. Yeah, but that is a good question though, because that's something that's come up. Before we talk about drafting a cornerback, we can talk about that for a minute. What are your thoughts on drafting Tua and what round? Because me personally, Boss Cowboy, I think that one thing I'm gonna tell you guys right now. You're never gonna hear Boss West Coast. Well, I don't know about Boss Cowboy, but me personally, I don't want to. People used to always say, "Hey, you want to be like the Patriots." I don't want to be like the Patriots. I want to be like the Kansas City Chiefs. You know what I'm saying? Why? Because that's the new way of the NFL. But one thing I do like about the Patriots is, man, them dudes draft a quarterback almost every other year. And I think you should do that. Why? Because a quarterback is almost like it's like currency in the NFL. Especially when your quarterback go down and you was on a run toward the playoffs somewhere, a backup quarterback that's halfway decent is like currency. Now, my thing is this, boss, you know he ain't going to play for a year anyway. So, I mean, he realistically ain't going to see the field until 2 years realistically. You know what I'm saying? This year and then the following year. So, I mean, you know, if I can get Tua in the late second round, I don't even mind doing second round because the reason being is because you keep Tua on this record, you keep him on this roster for 2, 3, maybe 3 years. My thing is this, you'll get that second round plus more back if you trade him, you know what I'm saying? Or think of the situation if your quarterback go down. You know what I'm saying? Now, the only way you can make this move or make a move like this is if you kill it in free agency. Because if you go into the draft with needs still, you can't make a move like this. Can't at all. You know what I'm saying? Can't do it. But if you kill it in free agency and you're locked around across the board, why not? Why not? You can sell them in 2 years. What's your thought, boss?
I mean, I think what Bob said, man, what's up, Bob? Here, can draft Tua, he'll cost us too much to go get him. I agree. Because, see, Tua was cleared with his hip. So he's not having hip concerns, and he has the best tape in terms of a career in college.
Yeah, but remember he said last week that he said this out of his own mouth that he wanted a year. So I mean, any team that takes him he's gonna be sitting at least a year.
Yeah, and a lot of teams gonna be cool with that. And you know, obviously, if you need a quarterback, you'll be very cool. Just like people. If
you need a quarterback, you think they'll. I don't know if you need a quarterback if you're gonna be rushing it.
Need a quarterback and set Mahomes a year behind Alex Smith. It's dumb teams and smart teams, and so it's teams that's gonna walk and chew bubble gum and take their time. But Tua basically is gonna cost too much to go get because when you're talking Tua, you're really talking top 5 now. Like literally, so like Tua had the best career. Joe Burrow had the best year.
I believe it, but I believe it, but I mean, I still think. Go ahead.
So it's one of those things to where, with 30 expired contracts, I honestly don't think there's going to be moving up for anybody. Like literally, I just think this is not the year to where we would be moving up because that's the only way that's going to happen this year with Tua. Now, if he still had hip concerns, I could see him dropping, but he's been given a clean bill of health, and that's all GM wanted to hear to say, okay, look, I'm justified in going after this guy. So Tua is just kind of like brought up mostly by people that's trying to get clicks, you know, and writers that's just trying to get clicks, but it's not a serious offer.
But see, this is my thing. This is my only pushback. That's under the assumption that he's still going to go high in the draft. I'm not under the assumption that he's going to go high in the draft. So if I'm not under that assumption that he's going to go high in the draft, then a second round is realistic. Is realistic because the only teams, there are so many available quarterbacks. It makes no sense for a team who needs a quarterback to get a kid who said before at the combine that he wants to wait a year. That makes no sense. The only teams, honestly, that realistically should be interested in Tua are teams that have a quarterback right now who can play. You know what I'm saying? Because you know, and then you got to think like this. You're not going to bet that Patrick Mahomes is a once-in-a-lifetime situation. And Patrick Mahomes did not have the type of injury that Tua did. Them is two different type of injuries. Patrick Mahomes had a standard injury that most NFL's players have had. Tua, that hip, that's not tip. He's doing something that hasn't happened. And think about this. You're also going to be the first person to see him play after that because you haven't seen anything. Being cleared to play and being able to take contact, man, that's two totally different things. The last time he took contact, he was laying on the ground. You know what I'm saying? So, you got guys like I would think a team would take that Easton kid over. Like, why, if you're a team who needs a quarterback, why would you? It makes you're basically waiting 3 years. Unless you're hoping that he's going to come back from an injury, wait a year, and then have a Patrick Mahomes-esque rookie year. Man, that's asking a lot. I think if you're a team, And to be honest with you, I think a team, it would have to be, but like teams like us, like teams who have young quarterbacks who we know, or Houston. To be honest with you, Houston would be a good place for him. A place where you're about to play your quarterback so you can basically sit him for like 2 to 3 years. I don't want this kid coming in off of hip injury and having the expectations that he about to come in here for a team that needs a quarterback and be successful. Kyler Murray was healthy and he still struggled. He still struggled. So I mean that's my thing on, like, I know we had the history, but I just don't see a team. I don't see a team that needs a quarterback taking a guy who can't play. And then you gotta wait, and then you gotta hope that his rookie year is gonna be dynamic. That Tua is a 3-year project. And I'm sorry, that's my real opinion on him. I think he's a 3-year project. So if you have a team like Houston or the Cowboys where you're about to sign Dak Prescott, or I'm gonna tell you another team that he would be good for him too. God dang, the New Orleans Saints. The New Orleans Saints is who should draft him. Sign Drew Brees to a 2-year contract, draft Tua. And guess what, Tua? You're going to sit as long as he playing. And it's perfect. Why? Because you don't need to play anyway, because you can't beat Drew Brees. You can't beat him out. That's the perfect situation for Tua. Nowhere where he needs to play right now. Because you got guys like Haskins, man. Think about this, man. Haskins ain't been hurt, and we know what everything sounds like Washington's ready to move on from that young man. I don't know why, but all the signs are showing that they ready to move on to him. You know what I'm saying? He need to go somewhere where he can sit for a minute and there's no pressure for him to get out there, man. So that's I mean, I think that'll be a good place. I think Minnesota would be another good place for him.
For all the reasons you mentioned is why I'm almost certain he won't get out of the top 10.
No.
There's a lot of people
there's no way he's getting drafted in the top 10.
We're gonna see, and that's one of those things where according to what I'm seeing in terms of what teams are saying and what doctors have said about his health, that's our team to want to see is that can you play, and that's been the report is that he's gonna be able to play and that he's on track to have a full recovery.
Yeah, but he's not on track to play this year though. He's not on track to play 2020 though. That's and I mean, if he goes top 10, and that will be the first time I would think in draft history where a kid who does not play in that year turns around and gets drafted top 10. Like that's I mean, if he do it, so be him. And
he definitely, and let's go with your point. I'm gonna just go with that, okay? Even going with that point, it's gonna be teams at the bottom that's gonna gladly take him. And
there you go. That's a good point. That is a good point.
So it's teams at the bottom that would. Like,
that's a good point.
It makes sense for the top, and I would take him if I'm at the top. Even if I gotta sit him, even if I gotta baby him just 1 year, I would. I mean, he's that talented. Like, and because if it wasn't for the hip, he would likely be the #1 overall pick easily, because he has a better college career than Joe Burrow's 1 year. So, and then, so you have 3 years to really know what you're getting. You might be getting a 1-year wonder with Joe, so I would trust Tua's career over Joe's. But at the same time, in terms of with the Dallas Cowboys, I don't even see it as possible at all.
Okay. I feel it. Hey, shout out to the folks in the comment box. Y'all doing a word out. Hey, man, my boy Eastside, man, I appreciate you, man. Well, I appreciate you for that. Great. I think we definitely gave you your $2 worth, brother. I appreciate you, man. All right, so let's go ahead and slide over to this next comment, this next portion of the show. We're going to be talking about if real, we've been talking about positions. I got to take this hat off real quick. We've been talking about positions. Last time we was on here, we talked about defensive tackles and we talked about linebackers. So today, with Byron Jones' name being all up in the media for everything but getting interceptions, I gotta let that go. But yeah, we're gonna talk about these goddamn cornerbacks, man. We're gonna talk about these cornerbacks. And at 17, I doubt the Dallas Cowboys are gonna do anything to go up and get this big name corner that's coming out of Ohio State, who is built like a Greek god, runs like a Greek god. But I'm sorry, you guys, Greek gods don't get drafted at 17. So I'm gonna tell y'all this right now. That girl is out of our league, so let her go. Yeah, I know that's Riri. Yeah, I know she's standing right in front of us, but she out of our league. Let her go. We not gonna get him. Is that am I wise in saying that, Boss Cowboy?
I mean, yeah, no, like Jeff Okuda is not falling to 17.
He's Riri, right? That's Rihanna, right?
He's not falling. It's a better chance that Jalen Ramsey falling.
Yeah. So he
16.
Yes.
I mean, he not falling that far, and it's not even, in my opinion, because he's just so good. Because he's very, 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 very good. This corner class is very, very, very weak at outside corner. So it's almost like everything. When you one of the best looking in a room of people that's kind of average, then you go stand out and everybody go be sending over. You know,
he's DK. You know what he sounds like? DK Metcalf. No, I'm not saying that DK Metcalf was not good, because that last year was a deep draft class. But like everything about him physically, his run stats was just so much better than everybody else. So you know what I'm saying? And his stock is rising like a DK Metcalf too.
Everything, in my opinion, about 17 says stay away if you're looking for anything in the secondary. Like anything in the secondary, because to me, this is my opinion. To me, when I'm looking at safety as well as corner, there's too many that's good, but they always have kind of like some kind of warning signal with them. So like if it's their pick, you'll have a warning sticker that'll say, well, his tackling. If it's Diggs, you'll say, well, he plays a lot of trail technique. If it's CJ, the corner from Florida, you'll say he's athletic, but he doesn't tackle. If you're talking about the corner from Clemson, you'll say he had a great year all the way up into the national championship and he was owned. Like, so it's always something with every one of these guys that make me uncomfortable with all of them in terms for outside corner. So for outside corner, I don't see anybody at 17. For safety, I don't see anybody for 17. I say with every need that we might have in the secondary, everything is screaming, in my opinion, move down. Because I think this is a much better draft class for nickelbacks, and I'd be very cool with some of the nickelbacks that's potentially starters than I would be about potential boundary corners or outside corners. Like, this is not the draft to do it, especially as pick 17. It's a lot more value, especially and I'm going to say this, and I'm going to say this all the way until it happens in the draft, because I'm almost certain this is going to happen. This is also a deep quarterback class. So people and teams are going to be willing to give up a lot to move up to 17 to try to get their quarterback of the future. I'm going to say that over and over, and when it happened, don't act shocked when it happened. Because remember, with the Dallas Cowboys, Jerry Jones is on record trying to move up into the late 20s and wanted to give up a second and a third rounder to get up into the bottom of the first for Paxton Lynch.
I believe it. That's why I believe that 2 ain't going in the top 10. If this draft that goddamn hard, I am no way in heck I'm about to give draft 2 in the first round. If this draft class is that deep on quarterback, I can't do it. You know what I'm saying? But hey man, this was my thing, boss. I tend to shop at Ross because Ross got the best deals. When you got a gang of kids, you love at Ross. If you never take them to Nike Town, you never know what Nike Town is. Take them to Ross. They got multi-selections and you get good deals. So I'm about to go to Ross at this draft pick. You know what I'm saying? I want to get the best price, you know, and I want to get a good talent. I want to get some good behavior. I want to get some good cover. I want to have the only mandatory, bros, they got to get their hands on the ball. Like, I don't care. I'm sorry. If I got to pay a little bit more for that, I will. But boss, talk to me about some Marshalls picks, or some guys that in this draft that are cornerbacks that you can see us not necessarily picking at 17. Let me repeat. Because as soon as we start saying this, somebody in the comments is going to say, oh my God, bro, I would not pick him at pick 17. Bro, that's not what we said. These are guys that you would pick them at some point, corners that you would pick at some point that you like, something we like about their game. So let's go ahead and talk about this first guy. Let's see who we got. It is your boy out of man. So let me pull his name up real quick. The kid out of Gentry. Gentry.
Person that I definitely would want in the like second round. Maybe even if we move down deep enough, and you said corner, and say corner. I'm also thinking nickel. Jeff Gladney. That's exactly who makes a lot of sense. Who I actually think can play both the outside as well as the nickelback position. And to me, he's the smoothest. Oh, you pulled up Troy
I
Pride.
know.
Okay.
I'm about to drop him right. I'm changing it right now. I
No, that's
apologize.
fine. No, we can. I could talk about Troy.
Okay, thank you, thank
Because
you, thank you.
Troy is right there with him. So let
Okay.
me go. Let's talk about Troy.
That's
So
why my name.
Troy,
That's why I went blank. I apologize for that.
no, you good, you good. Like, but Troy Pride, and I'm glad you pulled up his highlight. One thing that I love about Troy is he plays with a lot of balance. He's always under control. Um, and then, and his film looks really, really good. He doesn't have a lot of turnovers, but he's a really, really good tackler. He does a lot of the fundamentals right. He's a good football player. But one of the best things about him is that he's also backed it up with his measurables at this combine. He had the 40-inch vertical, which was very good. He also had a he also ran a good 40, so and he's a pretty big corner, definitely good weight. So he's somebody that I'm almost certain, man, that can hold down a nickel very, very, very well. So, I'm all about Troy Pride. And I think that's a very, very, very good second round to third round some nickel or corner that can definitely become a real good quality starter in the NFL over time. Now, I do have him under the first guy I mentioned. The first guy I mentioned was Jeff Gladney out of TCU. Now, Jeff Gladney, for me playing a position, to me, he is the smoothest corner in this whole draft. I mean, he mirrors very well. He's a dog. He comes up, he makes really, really good tackles. He has excellent feet, great turns. He's a really good run supporter. He hustles well, and he does good on real big targets. So he's only 6 foot, but he shut down Hakeem Butler, which nobody in college shut down Hakeem Butler when he was playing for Iowa State. Nobody but Trayvon Diggs, one-on-one, locked on him all day, and he shut him down as a youngster. So when I look at Jeff Gladney, Jeff Gladney to me is the ideal second round corner that would make a whole lot of sense for Dallas. And I liken him to actually true front for Atlanta. When you want to kind of say who does his game remind me of, is true front. Just very smooth, clean out his brakes, major acceleration out his brakes, a competitor, a dog. I think he's the second rounder that's really got more of a first round grade.
Yes, coach. They saying your mic off.
All right, so yeah, I mean, like I was saying, I like both those guys. You know, I ain't gonna lie, Cheetah Bay Awuzie has gotten me a little nervous at drafting cornerbacks early, but at the same time, Jordan Lewis gives me assurance because you know Jordan Lewis, huh?
They still saying can't hear.
They got to be able to hear me. I'm here. I can see myself. Can y'all hear me? They got to be able to hear me because I can see it.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Okay. So man, my mind went blank. But yeah, for the gist of what I was saying is, I was saying that I like both the kids, but I was saying that these corners over the last couple of years, man, these colleges have been putting out some pretty solid corners. You know what I'm saying? And like we got a guy like, think about this, we got a guy like Jordan Lewis in the third round. You know what I'm saying? Now, obviously, there were circumstances, but it lets you know that, man, if you pick right and you understand what you're doing and don't just go off measurables, you can get yourself a damn good corner. And to think about this, Jordan Lewis is probably the corner that's been hated on the most since he's been on this team. But at the same time, he is also the cornerback who's probably been played the best on this team. So it's like, you know, it's kind of crazy, you know, how those pendulums swing. You know what I'm saying? But it's kind of crazy how those pendulums swing back and forth a lot, you know, but I mean, here we are today, you know what I'm saying? But my hope, honestly, man, is that the Dallas Cowboys fix what they're supposed to be fixing in the free agency so that we can go into this draft open-minded and being able to do whatever we have to do.
Yeah, and that's what we tend to do. I mean, pretty much that's been the front office philosophy for the last 6 years. They try to band-aid, I call it a band-aid, that needs.
Boss, did you change some on your mic?
I did.
Huh?
Yeah, I did. I changed. Producer gave me something, said I needed to change something.
Oh, okay. Yes, it didn't kind of ooby-ooby-oppied.
Is that?
Yeah, man. You sound. We're going to have to jump on here on a late night creep and get it all worked out.
The other mic.
Huh?
I'll go back to the other one.
Yeah, it's all good. But hey, I mean, you know what we're saying. You know, I liked it. I like what you said as far as those cornerbacks because you weren't pigeonholing me into drafting these guys at a certain time. You know what I'm saying? No. I like that. Why? Because it allows me to have options. You know what I'm saying? So with those options, you know what I'm saying, I'm able to move around like, you know what I'm saying? So I like that. You gave me an option in a second and a guy that should be available in your second or third rounds, man. Man, go ahead.
No, yeah, I think all those guys are realistic between round 2 and round 3. And then another guy I didn't mention that people definitely need to look up and buy the draft guide that I spent some time on is Amik Robertson.
Yeah.
Amik Robertson out of Louisiana Tech. He's basically like the Honey Badger Part 2, bro. Like for real. His game is tailored just like him, plays just like him. Man. So.
Yeah. Well, shoot, man. Well, go ahead, boss. I gotta take my little ride kind of flaked out on me, so I gotta go drop my children off at basketball practice real quick, man. But Boss Cowboy, let them know where they can find you at, man.
Yeah, Boss Cowboy Sports, especially on Facebook. Everything you'll find me on is going to be on the Boss Cowboy Sports. Now, you can go to my articles, and that's going to be bosscowboy.com. No sports, just bosscowboy.com.
All right, man. You already know what it is, man. It's your boy West Coast. You can find me on Instagram at West Coast Cowboy, YouTube West Coast Cowboy, and Facebook with Dallas Cowboy Scouting, man. I appreciate you guys for rocking with your boy, man. I ordered a microphone, so I'm gonna be sounding very whitish tomorrow, man. But hey, man, you already know what it is, man. Never look down because